Kellyanne Conway just keeps getting called out for her lies on Fox News, no less. So now, this was during an interview about this week's virtual Democratic National Convention. Spoiler alert, I am actually not interested in the DNC convention. It has been boring, platitude after platitude. However, Kellyanne Conway has decided to claim that Joe Biden has no plan to contain the coronavirus pandemic when he actually clearly has a plan. Here's what she told Sarah Smith.
I didn't hear Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, John Kerry, anybody talk about this virus in a meaningful, solutions-based way for months while we were here around the clock. If they've got a good idea, Sandra, they shouldn't be sitting on it till November 4th.
He's got a
Help
plan.
their country
Joe
now.
Biden's got a plan. It's on his campaign website.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
there. You can read through it. They ask for a lot
I read
more
through
funding,
it. It's not much of a plan.
Yeah.
Well, we've done 70 million tests here, and we're testing in nursing homes. We're testing on campuses as they want. We're testing, testing is available, point of care test, rapid test, longer test. So I read his plan. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you.
Okay. Where's his plan? He doesn't have a plan. Yeah, he does. You can go and read it. Well, where is it? It's on his website. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a plan. Okay, no, it is there. There is a plan. And you can read it. Oh, yeah, I already did. It doesn't make any sense. Wow. That is just wow. I mean, that's amazing, right? Alternative facts from Kellyanne Conway. So look, for the sake of argument, right? Let's look at Joe Biden's plan, right? So now it's right on his website, as again, Sarah Smith points out, Fox News host, by the way, who's been doing some pretty good work calling out Kellyanne Conway every time she shows up. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting. So let's look at that plan, right? So now there's 5 different points, bullet points to it. And it calls for restoring trust, credibility, and common purpose, mounting an effective national emergency response that saves lives, protects frontline workers, and minimizes the spread of COVID-19, eliminates cost barriers for prevention of care, pursuing decisive economic measures to help hard-hit workers, families, and small businesses, and to stabilize the economy, and rallying the world to confront this crisis while laying the foundation for the future. So all of that, if you look at it and you look at just those things, that sounds like a lot of platitude crap. Now, that said, if you actually look into it a little bit further and you read into it, there's actually a lot more detail into this, okay? So now, first, let me go to one of the points here that's expanded a little bit more. It says that Biden believes that we must immediately put scientists and public health leaders front and center in communication with the American people in order to provide regular guidance and deliver timely public health updates. So basically, they said they would begin establishing daily expert-led press briefings. So now Donald Trump does press briefings, but it's basically a clown show where he goes up and he performs basically a campaign rally. And eventually, or at some point, he will get a doctor on to say things that are contradictory to what Donald Trump has said. So that's fun, but not really informative, right? It has led to famous moments about, injecting bleach or, that kind of stuff. All right, just ridiculous things. Biden's briefings, I'm assuming, would be a little bit better because Biden would shut up and stand in the background, which he should, and allow the doctors to talk. Now, there's more. He would ensure that public health decisions are made by public health professionals and not politicians. That makes sense. And officials engaged in the response do not fear retribution or public disparagement for performing their jobs, as we have seen with the Trump administration doing both of those things. So that's definitely in response to the Trump administration. Immediately restore the White House National Security Council Directorate for Global Health Security and Biodefense, which was established by the Obama-Biden administration and eliminated by the Trump administration back in 2018. Okay, so all that detailed. What about policy positions, right? One of their policy positions is on testing. which they say they would make widely available and free. All right, great. That's concrete. It also says that individuals should not have to pay anything out of their own pockets for the visit at which the test is ordered, regardless of immigration status. So now this is going to trigger right wingers, right? Oh my God, you're going to give illegals free testing. Okay, well, here's the thing. That's smart policy because it turns out that it's not just Americans that can get this virus. Undocumented immigrants can get this virus and then spread it to their communities because they might not know if they're sick. And so, yeah, that's kind of a sound policy, right? That makes sense. Now, they also say that they would establish 10 mobile testing sites and drive-through facilities per state to do speed testing and protect healthcare workers. Again, that makes sense. Task the U.S. Department of Justice with combating price gouging for critical supplies. Also makes sense. They would amend the Public Health Service Act to cover all testing, treatment, and preventative services that are necessary to address a public health emergency for an infectious disease. Again, that makes sense. Amend the Social Security Act and other authorizing statutes to extend the same requirement to all public health programs. As such, there would be no copays for programs, including but not limited to Medicare, Medicaid, and CHIP, the Indian Health Service, the Department of Veterans Affairs, DoD's TRICARE program, and the Federal Employees Health Benefit Program. Provide guaranteed emergency paid sick leave and caregiving leave, cash assistance or targeted refundable tax relief for families affected by COVID-19, on and on and on. Look, I barely scratched the surface, okay, of going into details about this. So that's a lot. And look, understand that some of these things a little too conservative for me, right? I think that on some points he might not go as far as I would like, especially, for example, on healthcare policy itself. But as far as fighting coronavirus, yeah, these are pretty detailed measures, and a lot of them do make sense. So where's Kellyanne Conway getting all this stuff from? I mean, you can't just look at this and actually read through it and say, well, he doesn't have a plan. Yeah, he does have a plan. Now, the only way that you can come to that conclusion is if you didn't read the plan. And you all should read the plan because it's literally right there. It says everything that he wants to do. Okay? But understand that Kellyanne Conway is a shameless liar. Again, peddling nothing more than alternative facts. And now you have Sarah Smith that's literally handing her ass. Like silver platter, right? And look, here's the thing. Even if Joe Biden didn't have that much detail and just had platitudes, okay, like I would criticize that, right? But at the same time, what the hell is Trump's plan? Like, what is the current administration actually doing about coronavirus? I mean, look, right now you have the president that's pushing a fake cure, the oleander flower with the My Pillow guy. And before that, it was hydroxychloroquine. Not only that, but they're pushing people back to work and back to school by saying, hey, people die. I mean, it is what it is. That's not a plan. 170,000 plus people have died from this virus, and it's going to go higher because we're doing next to nothing under Trump. And that's, of course, despite all the conspiracy theories on the right. They're putting out constant conspiracy theories, and it's just, look, this virus is out of control. Is not under control. It's out of control, right? And unless we actually do something, then it's going to continue to get worse. And all Kellyanne Conway is able to do is to criticize and project onto others the failures of this administration. And I'm glad that Sarah Smith is calling it out on Fox News, no less. We definitely need a lot more of that. So keep it coming.